All right, and I am just getting word that our next run with Spyran is ready. So, with Portal 2, single player, no SLA, Spyran, take it away.
Hello everyone, I am Spyran, and you may recognize me from just a one run ago or so, because we're back again, and it's Portal 2 this time. So I'm very excited. This one I'm much more familiar with than the House of the Dead. I've got a little more practice in this one than the House of the Dead. So this one should be hopefully really exciting. Portal 2, one of the best games ever made, by the way. Just quick shout out to Portal 2. What we will be doing is running the entire game. This is single player, no SLA, so it's the entire single player game. What no SLA means, it means no save load abuse. It's what SLA stands for, essentially. And all that means is we don't use any kind of saving and loading, quick save, quick loading to abuse and get out of bounds. So you won't see me at any point go out of bounds. This is all just pure Portal 2 tricks and slight glitches, but nothing that involves us getting out of bounds and flying around or doing anything like that. Although I say flying around, there may be some flying later if you've not seen this before, but no spoilers. No spoilers there. Right, so what I will do is I will count us down. So there's very handily, if you ever do end up running this game, there's all configs and things built in, which makes it a lot easier to run this game if you're ever running this game. So what we can do is I can do a command called do reset, which essentially resets the game from the very beginning and starts the run. Like so, and time will start as soon as there we go. We load in. So this is the start of the run.
You have been in suspension for days.
Very excitingly, we start off in a room, and all this is essentially is it's almost like it's an auto scroller for a better kind of wording, I guess. There's not too much to do really. We just kind of follow the instructions here. But normally, if you were to do this run on your own, you're just kind of like grinding for times. You can skip this entire section if you want. There's an option to load later into the game to the first chamber, and all that does is essentially skip this section. And it oh, there we go. I didn't look at the floor. Sound okay? I thought I looked at the floor. It allows you to skip this section. The timer. There you go. Stand from this. The timer starts a bit ahead of time, but because we're starting from 0, we start where 0 should be, which is this point in the game, essentially. So what it does, essentially, is it gives us a bit of time to explain kind of the run, because we're not really doing anything else. We're just staring at this lovely photo on the wall. So the run is purely, for the most part, movement. It's the faster you are in this game and the better your movement, the faster you'll go in this game. Movement is all done via something called bunny hopping. If you're familiar with other Source and Valve games, you'll know what bunny hopping is. It's essentially moving around, kind of like so. Hold on, we're gonna go up the door. There we go. So bunny hopping involves us jumping essentially to move, but it's not jumping and holding forward. It's jumping and using A and D to move forward. So you'll notice if I move forward, you can see at the top left I've got some values up there. So you notice my velocity normally is 175, moving forwards and backwards. Actually though, if you move left and right, like left and right while moving forward, you'll notice that it's slightly, if I like wiggle, you can see I move slightly faster wiggling left and right than I would do just like holding forward. So with that in mind, what you can actually do is by jumping and using purely left and right keys to move while you're in the air, you can actually build up a lot of speed. As long as you keep jumping continuously, as soon as you hit the floor, basically, you can just build up a hell of a lot of speed. It'll make much more sense when I have more room to do it. There's not a lot of room to kind of jump around this small room. So you'll see that in a second. You'll also notice that I'm jumping quite continuously. The way this is done is jump is bound to the scroll wheel. So all I have to do is scroll, and every time I scroll it will jump, which makes it a lot easier than trying to time the jumps with spacebar and wrecking your thumb that way. All you have to do is scroll with the mouse wheel. It makes it so much easier.
Okay, you know what? That's close enough. Just hold tight.
So, other thing to mention, you'll notice at the bottom of the screen, there's like some text with as part of the wording, like square brackets. That's known as a toast. So what that does essentially is it indicates to us when the best possible timing for you to enter the elevator at the end of each level is. So during when GLaDOS or Weekly or whoever's speaking, when you want to enter the elevator is essentially when that particular portion of the word is said or that sentence is said, and that essentially means that you'll end the level at the perfect, like, most optimal, fastest point. If you're going too early, it won't be as fast. If you're going too late, it won't be as fast. So you want to try and time it with this in line, which is really handy. Again, another thing that the configs of Portal 2 can provide for speedrunning, which makes it a lot easier to learn as a speedrun. It's really, really handy.
When the management comes down here and finds 10,000 flipping vegetables.
So we're just on the move now. We're making our way to the first test chamber, which is where the run really properly begins. And I'll be able to show off instantly some nice bunny hopping techniques. There's a lot of things we're going to do some fancy things as well with the portal gun when we eventually get the portal gun. There'll be some fancy things and all sorts of tricks doing portal stands, portal jump. I can't. There's a word for it. There's a phrase for it where essentially it's like a reportal. That's it. You do reportals where you shoot a portal at the same time as entering a portal, and it gives you extra velocity and speed as you kind of exit the portal. It's really cool. There's a lot of really cool tricks. Some hard to learn, some quite easy and straightforward to learn. Again, I'd really the only reason I ended up learning this game was for another event called Speedrunmizer, where you are randomly given a game to run from a pool of games, and I got given Portal 2. I would have never learnt Portal 2 otherwise, because I would have looked at the time and thought, that's too long. I don't have time to learn that. But I'm super glad that I did. I'm super glad that we got this working. And that I got to run this. Here we go. We're about to enter the first chamber. Run ourselves in through the glass. Perfect.
Hello.
Right.
And again, welcome to the Aperture Science
So the other thing we'll be doing a lot is quick saving. So you'll notice at the top left, you'll see me quick save quite a lot, because while we can't use save load abuse to abuse and go through walls and things like that, what we can do is use it to make sure that if we fail a trick, we can just jump back and carry on. So we're using that a lot. Quick saving, quick loading.
Even in the event of environmental, social, economic,
So
or structural
the run will officially begin
the portal will open and
in 3, 2, 1 when he counts us down. Here we go. Ready?
2, 1.
And off we go. So this is bunny hopping. You notice not using the W key at all. We stand on this button just to speed up this door opening, which I don't think I did properly. I didn't quite get that. That's fine. Essentially, the majority of the game is get to the end elevator as fast as you can. Sometimes this will happen, so we didn't quite make the timing on this properly, so we got a slightly longer elevator, which is less optimal, obviously.
If you feel liquid running down
Here we go, next one. So what you can do is kind of a circle jump, it's known as, out of the elevator, to get some extra speed up the stairs there. So all we're doing here though now is hitting some buttons and bunny hopping our way through the levels to place the cube on the button, spinning around, jumping over and through to the end. So again, here's an example of where we'd use this toast for an example. So as soon as he says associate,
please take a moment to write down the
give it a
results
second.
of your test. An Aperture Science reintegration
Associate, there we go. We're walking on that, and that's optimal timing. You'll see the elevator fade out basically as soon as he finishes speaking, which is perfect.
If the Earth is currently governed by a manner of animal king,
Okay, so here's a nice little fancy trick that we're going to try and attempt to do. This one, we can skip some dialogue essentially to get through this level a little bit faster, but what we need to try and do is build up some speed on this ramp. Nope, we failed it. Okay, so I don't think we'll be able to get through this level as quick as we want to, but we are going to pick up the portal gun, shoot it here. If it lets us walk through, that'd be brilliant. Shoot it up here to get up there faster, and then we're just going to quickly bunny hop our way around this room. So if we're a bit faster, we would have essentially skipped this bit of text that Wheatley was saying there, but now we have to wait for the announcer to finish speaking before the game will fade out. I've just been informed, apparently, that my little baby boy is giggling a lot watching, so shout out to Zachary. Hello, Zachary. Hello. And hello, Bunta Mortis also. You're alright as well. Hello. Okay, so we've got to wait a little bit. There we go, and then eventually the elevator fades out. Okay. On the way up. So smooth jazz. So this one, we finally have the portal gun now. So we're going to try and shoot this portal in a location there that should not quite pull the portal through in the right time, so we just restart that. So we want we want it to ideally, not do that. Goodness gracious me. Don't want to fall down, ideally. Shoot a portal there so that it lands on the button. There we go. Opens the door, perfect. Shoot a portal here, and here's a nice little fancy trick. We're going to pick up this cube, going to shoot a portal about here, and then we should be able to push it through the door because of the way the portal collision works. So that opens the door because the game decides, oh, you can't actually solve this without that cube, so we're just going to open the door for you. So they clearly thought of everything. It's very nice. No fade on this one. We can just get into the elevator as quickly as we can. And straight down. Okay, next level, next level. Let's see. Okay, yeah, so here we go. So we're going to shoot a portal here, and this is our first example of the portal stand. What I'm going to do is stand halfway in the portal, shoot a portal there, and then what happens there essentially is, because we're still inside the portal, we can just kind of walk backwards, and it won't push us out of the portal, and in fact push us to wherever we shot the portal next. It's really cool. So you'll see the portal stand used quite a lot, where we stand in a portal, and also the cube shot there, where we shot underneath the cube and then shot next to us. So it fell through the cube fell through the portal, and we could catch it just as it kind of sorted itself out. So we're going to do something similar again, portal stand, and then grab the cube as it falls through. Not quite, not fast enough there. There we go, grab the cube as it falls through the portal. Brilliant. Okay, now, bit of bunny hopping here to try and get across to this little platform. Not quite. I'm terrible at this sometimes, Olin. Okay, no, I'm not quite there. Okay, a bit closer. Please. Okay, there we go, perfect. Okay, so we're going to stand in this corner here now. What we're going to do is look at a precise spot on the roof, and by walking forward, because we only touched that button for one tick, for whatever reason, that just keeps the button activated. I'm not sure why that works. But because we only stood in it for literally like a tick, return, there we go. For some reason, the button just stays activated, and that allows the platform to be up there for us to complete the level, basically. So why that works, I don't know, but it does, and I'm very thankful for it. Hold on. We're going to need to restart this level. So this is the first level there, I think, where we use something called view snaps. So you notice now my sensitivity is a bit scuffed. And that's intentional. So I've pressed a button to activate a view snap, which essentially we're going to use here to shoot a very precise portal through the wall there. Oh, we didn't quite get it. All right, hold on. I need to restart again. There we go. That should be fine. So we're trying to shoot a very precise portal through a very small seam in the geometry that will allow us to pass through this section of the game. So we get our angle just right. Oh, I jumped a bit too far forward there. There. Lovely, and that should have done it. Perfect, and look, we're on the other side of that door, and we've made it through to the other side. So that is perfectly legal, by the way, as well. That's perfectly legal to use in a run. View snaps that adjust your sensitivity automatically to help you do these harder tricks that involve very precise shooting easier. So thank you again to Portal 2 for allowing us to do that. Okay, we have Wheatley now. Normally what we would have done is, if we were playing this normally, we would have picked Wheatley up, but he's with us now. And here comes a really, really hard trick. So, there's something in the game known as Bet's Writer, okay? And what Bet's Writer is essentially is a trick that we're going to perform, hopefully, on this level that allows you to just become invincible for the rest of the run. And by doing so, it allows us to do some certain tricks later in the run much faster than we would if we weren't invincible, basically. So we're going to attempt to do it here. It's quite hard and it's quite precise because it's a bit finicky in the way that it's set up, and I'll be able to show you all that now. So what we're going to do is hop around here. We're going to put Wheatley in this machine when it lets us, and then the first part of this trick is to jump on top of this little kind of platformy thing here as Wheatley is being placed into the device here. So that's the first part, and then I'll explain what we're going to do next once we get there.
You understand? Can you see it anywhere? I can't see
it. In a second, yeah. It'll say plug me in.
Plug me in, and I'll turn the
lights on. And then what we need to try and do is plug him in and then jump. There we go, on top. Perfect. Quick save up here. Now we're here. So, what we're going to try and do now is essentially gain enough upward velocity by doing a precise jump to jump out of some invisible walls, essentially, that are keeping us inside of this area once we get up to the top. You'll see what that means in a second. So, hopefully, we're going to give this a go. So, ready? So we jump now and... Nope, not quite. Okay, we're going to give this a couple of attempts.
No, makes it go faster.
And jump and... Nope. Timing was off on that one.
No,
Try it
makes
again.
it go faster. Uh-oh.
Ooh, okay.
No,
The timing is very precise. So we want to try and nail this. I keep, like...
No, makes it go faster.
Timing is not great on this. Yeah, I think I'm either jumping too early or too late. I can't tell which way around it is, but...
Power up
Oh,
initiated.
hold on. Back one save. I accidentally auto-saved there.
Makes it go faster. Uh-oh.
Oh, that was nearly it. That was nearly it. That was nearly it. So that's nearly the amount of speed
No,
we need.
makes it go faster. Uh-oh.
Okay, keep trying. We're going to get a couple more attempts. If we don't get it, we don't get it, and it's fine.
Uh-oh.
Power up
Oh, I'm
initiated.
so close. Okay, we'll get 3 more attempts. If we don't get it in 3 more attempts, we're going to leave it.
Uh-oh.
That's 1.
No, makes it go faster. Uh-oh.
2. Come on, Spyran. Last attempt.
No, makes it go faster. Uh-oh.
No, okay, that's fine.
Initiated.
We'll leave it be then.
Don't panic.
Not a massive issue. What we'd normally do is if we were to do that is it'd propel us up really high essentially to be able to jump out of this invisible wall that's keeping us inside this area. We'd maneuver around, we pick up a clipboard and use that clipboard to essentially stand on the end of level trigger. If we stand on it right, our character model, even though we get pulled back into this cutscene that will start in a second, our character model will still be on top of the clipboard. And so that when the level ends, we'll actually we'll hit the end of level trigger before the cutscene finishes. And because of that, the game thinks that you're still in the cutscene, basically, like permanently, for the entire rest of the game. And that's why it gives you the invincibility. Because it just thinks you're always in the cutscene, and obviously you can't die in cutscenes. It won't allow you to die in cutscenes, so... Unfortunately, we don't get it there. But that's fine.
Okay.
Hoping I've managed to nail that on my last couple of runs fairly consistently. So I'm hoping that I can still remember how to do the alternative methods of not dying on some levels. I guess we'll see when we get there, but it's fine. So it's this, you see this this incinerator that she's about to drop us on. This is where we'd be standing on a clipboard normally. And when that opens up, we drop through and the level would end about now. Normally, if we were doing this trick. And because the cutscene's still occurring at that point, we would be invincible. But it's fine, we'll progress without. There's still plenty of tricks and cool things we can do. It really only affects 4 or 5 levels in the entire game. Everything else otherwise is still exactly the same, so we're not missing out on too much. It does just save us time on some levels. But it's not a massive issue.
Here we are. The
Okay.
incinerator room.
The incinerator room. GLaDOS is here. Very exciting. Best character in the game, perhaps, some might say. So we're just going to bunny hop around here. And there's a trigger here that we want to try and avoid by kind of hugging against this wall so that we can pick up the portal gun instantly instead of waiting it to raise up. So there we go. We shoot portal there, portal here. Oh, portal there we go.
Once testing starts, I'm required by protocol
we go,
to keep
portal there.
interaction with you to a minimum. Luckily, we haven't started testing yet. This will be our only chance to talk. Do you know the biggest
Oh, no, I
lesson
didn't get it,
learned
okay.
from what you did?
So I wasn't quite quick enough on getting the portals there, so this will be a slightly longer exit.
Catastrophic failure. The last 2 minutes of my life are preserved.
So we're just going to go in the elevator because we might as well at this point. Because the cutscene's the text is going to take forever. So this will eventually end even if you go in slightly late. So you might as well just go in early at this point.
Luckily, I'm a bigger person than
Just wait for
that.
this to finish, then we'll go to the
And
next
I
level.
can put this
So
all behind
now
us
we have the portal gun in full,
before.
which is very exciting. We can start doing a lot more tricks and a lot more
And only 60
exciting
more
skips
years
and things
to
that
go.
we've got coming up.
More
So
or less.
hopefully you
I
will
don't
enjoy
have the
all of them.
actuarial tables in front
Very
of me.
exciting.
But the important thing is you're back with me.
And eventually this
And
this
now I
elevator will end.
want
There you
all
go.
of
So the elevator automatically ends partway through it speaking. Here we go. Right, chapter 2. We've reached chapter 2. So here's a cool little trick. So using our movement, we're going to hit this here. I'm going to quick save here just in case I fail it. We're going to bunny hop through and yep, fail that. We're going to bunny hop through quick enough. Hold on. Try and get the first bunny hop.
Thanks for
Good.
that.
There we go. We're going to bunny hop through. I didn't quite hit that one fine.
Thanks.
And try and hit this platform. There we go, like that.
I forgot
Which
how
skips like
good
the
you
entirety
are
of that
at this.
chamber. Normally you have to wait for a laser to appear and you have to shoot a portal to the laser to allow the platform to rise. We just, using fast movement, and velocity. Skip that completely. Yeah,
This
more
next
portals,
test
more
involves
portals.
Discouragement
Redirection cubes. So, what we're going to try and do here is portal up here, portal up here. We're going to jump, place a portal there, and it's going to be a case of shooting portals there through to be able to carry both us and the portal through. Us and the cube, sorry, through quicker,
You are a horrible person.
and we're already at the end.
That's what it says. A
Horrible person. There we go.
We weren't even testing for that.
They weren't even testing for that, guys. That's crazy. Unbelievable.
Don't let that horrible person thing discourage you.
Okay, next level. So a lot of these levels again, like I say, it's just get to point A from point A to point B. So this one we're going to go up here. I'm going to shoot one in the laser here, and then this one just kind of in this red spot here. And then by shooting the laser here, so
Not on the test.
that technically wasn't completed properly because we didn't have both lasers shooting to both spots where that activate the door. But if you are touching the door on the same frame that both lasers are active, which is for like one tick, by doing it that method, the door will just open.
One moment.
So as long as you're pushed up against the door when you shoot that last portal, because there's a tick where technically both buttons are active, because the laser takes like a second, like a tick or so basically to switch from one to the other. Because we're pushed up against the door just opens. Easy. Oh, hold on, I need to walk forward to activate this. That'd be good. Okay, jump through here. Down we go. Portal here, portal there. Press the button to activate this. Portal to go across here. Now we're going to do some, hopefully, nice jumping, where we stop that about there. I'm going to try not to fall into the River of Doom there. Stand on top of this portal, jump over here, and with the cube fell in the water. So we'll try it again. Okay. Right, try this again. Jump over here.
I'll give you credit.
Grab the cube
I
before
guess
we
you
fall.
are.
There we go. Right, this is where it gets nice and fun, where I try not to knock everything in the water, including myself. Oh my days. Right, hold on, everyone. This level's really hard, guys. Actually.
I'll give you credit.
Yeah, there we go. Right,
I
grab the
guess you
cube.
are listening
Final
to
jump.
me. And for the record,
Beautiful.
You don't have to
I
do
made that look really easy, guys. That's actually a really tricky level. That's actually really hard, guys. Don't be fooled by how easy I made that one look. That's really tricky, as you could kind of tell there. Okay. Next level, right? What we got next? I'm really terrible at remembering the order of these levels. I kind of just remember as the door opens. It's like, oh, it's this level.
This next
Oh, it's this level. Perfect. So what we're going to try and do is
took
that through here. Okay, it didn't work. In theory, if that was to hit the button, it activates the next bit of dialogue, which means we can get through the elevator a little bit faster. Because it doesn't matter if it's the cube or the CCTV camera or anything. But as long as an item, an object touches that button, this bit of dialogue plays. So ideally, if you can do that fast, it means that you're able to enter the elevator a lot earlier than you would now, basically. Now we have to wait a little bit. There's also another much faster trick. There we go. A lot of these levels, there are a lot fancier tricks than I'm demonstrating. These are just the very basic routes for a lot of these levels.
Advanced aerial faith plates.
A lot of levels have some really crazy stuff. I'd recommend, if you're interested in what I'm doing here, go watch some of the top runners run this game. It is incredible. Like the speed, the precision of the bunny hopping, just the things they're able to do is just like shocking. Like I don't understand. It is incredible stuff. So, oh, hold on, shoot up there. That'd be a good, wouldn't it? There we go. What I'm going to do now is shoot a portal up here and over here, and then same again with kind of the previous level. As long as an object touches that button, the button can now be activated by any object, any other object. So what I'm going to do is, instead of waiting for stuff to come through, you can see as soon as that touches, as long as I'm touching the door will just open, and we can get through without waiting for like an actual cube to come and hit the button properly.
I was actually talking about you, and I'm sorry. You didn't react at the time, so
We gotta
I
wait.
was
There's no
worried
fade
it
out on this one.
sailed
We
right
just
over your
wait
head,
for
which would
Spadders
have
to
made
finish
this
speaking.
apology seem insane. That's why I had to call you garbage a second time just now.
Cheers, love. Appreciate that.
Did you know that people with guilty consciences are more
Okay.
easily startled by
This,
loud
I
noise?
believe, is the level where we're going to do some a super reportal. Right, here we go. So, reportal. We place a portal here. We look down at angle 63. Go on to my notes here. 63. So do a quick save there. We're going to shoot. We didn't quite get it there. So 63, shoot, and yeah, I think it's because I'm shooting at the what in theory should be happening here is we should be getting flung up essentially. So, okay, hold on. I'm definitely doing this trick right, I'm pretty sure. We should get stuck and eventually like fling ourselves up. I think I'm shooting the wrong portal. Is that what it is? No, it definitely must be the orange one then. So angle 63. Hold on, let's try this again. 63. Okay, hold on. Let's try this again. So, place this at the bottom so it's touching the floor here. It's angle 63. Run backwards. And it should eventually fling us upwards, basically, is what we're trying to do. We get stuck and it can't figure out what to do. Try this again. 63. Okay, hold on. I'm sure this is how you do it. It should fling us in the air. I'm not sure why this isn't working. Hold on. It's not. Oh, it is the other pot. Okay, I'm just a fool. It is the other pot we have to shoot. Okay, so that's shame on me. Hold on, I've just got the wrong portal. Okay, that's shame on me for not remembering how to do that. So let's try it again. So shoot, blue portal spam until it eventually flings us up in the air. There we go. We use that to get to here. We shoot a portal there to be able to jump up a little bit higher. And again, if you remember that trick before, where we look at a certain position and we stand on the button for 1 tick, we do that again here, which it didn't quite do. Hold on, let's try it again. So in the corner, look at this. That one there, I believe. And that should... No, hold on. Maybe it's the other one. This is what I get for not having enough practice, I guess, guys. There we go, it is that one. Okay, now there we go. We can jump down, fling ourselves to the end of the level up here.
Every test chamber is equipped with an
and gets the end.
emancipation grill at its exit, so that test
If you're playing this
subjects
casually,
cannot
this is the level where you
solve
can find the companion cube again
biological
and try and take it with you.
This one is broken. Don't take anything.
But we're not
with
doing that
you.
because it's not fast, unfortunately. We do not see the companion cube at all, apart from you could see it for a brief second in the incinerator when we first fell down there. Okay, up to the next level. What's this level? Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can do this. So, in theory, we can shoot through there. No, okay, I'm not fast enough. See, if you're fast enough, you can shoot through the floor before the kind of portals finish building. Otherwise, we can just jump up to there and shoot those 2 portals.
Oh, no.
Wasn't quite fast enough there.
Turbines again. I have to go. Wait, this next test does.
Okay, next channel. See, this is quite exciting. Oh, there we go, chapter 3. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Right, so what we need to do here is I need to turn on, you see these buttons, this kind of config up there that just turned on for a second. So I'm going to stay here, and we're going to do some precise movement in the air that allows us to skip this bit of dialogue, essentially. And we want that red bit of text in the top left corner to appear twice. Quite. Come on. Okay, that was once. We need it twice, please. Nearly. But once should be there, and then twice should be there. Perfect. Okay.
You seem to have
So it skips a lot of dialogue where GLaDOS, we have to go up and down 3 times before this bit of dialogue normally activates, and GLaDOS eventually lowers the roof. But we're going to get to that straight away now, which should allow us to get through this level a little bit faster. We're going to fling ourselves up here. We're going to line up here, place an orange portal down here, so we fling back through. Blue portal there. We're going to press this button as we go through. Grab this cube here. Jump down. We're going to place the cube and aim the laser just there. And then what we're going to do is a cool little jump. Place a portal here. And then we're going to run against the wall to get some extra speed. Fling through, and we fling all the way up here. And then we just need to line that up. There we go, the laser. As we reach the door. And we're at the elevator. So similar to bunny hopping, you actually get more speed if you push up against a wall and hold either A or D, depending on which side the wall is, and kind of run at the wall diagonally like that. So we use that to gain speed enough to be able to fling ourselves through the portal there to be able to go all the way up to that platform. Okay, this one's a fun one. This one was one of my favorite levels. Okay, oh, hold on. Orange portal, please.
And I'll tell you about the time I saw a deer.
So this is a really cool trick. So what we're going to try and do here, first of all, is get this cube all the way to the top. We need to deactivate this. Well, this cube's going to land here. I'm going to shoot a portal up here. Be able to then do a portal stand up to this top area. We didn't quite get it, but it's fine because we just fall down. We just place a portal anyway. Right. So what I'm going to do is try and catch this cube in midair, which I didn't do. Right, again. I think I've activated the... Hold on. I think I've activated the one a little too quickly there. Let me go back to this point. Into here. Right. Quick save there. And now jump off. We're going to catch this cube midair, and then we're going to do this. Ooh. Fortunate. Oh, I didn't even press the button there. So what we're going to try and do is essentially we're going to try and catch the cube and use it to knock ourselves up here. So by letting go of the cube and then grabbing it again, like that, we actually skip that entire section where it flings us across, and we actually bounce off the cube instead to just land straight on the platform that we need to land on.
I did see some humans.
Nice little trick. Very fun little trick. Using the kind of physics of the game to our advantage. Some of the fancier tricks on some levels involve a lot of like bouncing off cubes and stuff in midair. It's really something to see. Really cool. Okay, so this level we're going to try and get a cube to hit the end trigger. So what we need to do is jump up here, grab that, and then we're going to race down here, shoot some portals as we go to get the... There we go. Cube that lands on there. Try not to jump in the water. I'm going to place it here, and if we go backwards and left and look up, we manage to land on there. And then what we're going to do is kind of wiggle ourselves over to here to be able to activate the end trigger for the dialogue to play. And it just means that it basically is normally the dialogue wouldn't play until you got to that platform. But if we jump to it, there we go. If we jump to it a bit quicker, like that, it just allows the dialogue to start playing, which means we don't have to wait for the dialogue when we actually stand on that platform properly, if that makes sense.
I figured out what to do with all the money I saved.
Jump out of here.
One room full of air. When you die, I'm going to laminate your...
Let's see what's going on. Okay, so this level, if you're fast enough, you can actually get through this door before it closes. I'm never fast enough. But what we can hope for, oh my days, is that happens. So, oh, that was the wrong... I didn't need to do that straight away. So, if you push up against that door, and if you're lucky enough, the door will actually just open fully, which it just did there, and that never happens to me, I swear. So, that was sick. That was the first try on that one. I can't reach the first try button from where I am. Don't fall off. Oh, I knew it. I knew as soon as I got to the door, the cube would go and roll itself off. Stupid thing. Okay. So there you go. So that's a backup. If you can't get fast enough to be able to bunny hop all the way through that door before it closes initially, you have a slight chance that the door will actually open if you just push up against it. Otherwise, you just have to wait for a little bit of dialogue before the door opens again. Okay, so... turrets, this first one you can ignore because it always just dies, but otherwise we're going to try and be navigating through here in a way that doesn't allow us to get hit by the turrets. We're going to shoot a portal there, a portal here, jump through. Oh, that was a bit rubbish. Portal on the floor here, jump through. I'm going to use the cube to block the bullets of the turrets there, place it on there, take this guy with us, incinerate him, unfortunate, and down onto the end of the level. That's one of the levels where invincibility comes in handy because you can just put the cube straight down on the button because you can just ignore the turret fire of the turrets if it doesn't kill you. Fortunately, we couldn't do that though. Right, so we need to shoot here. A portal, I believe it's here. And a portal to the right of this here. That should be the right position. And then all I need to do is jump over here and place the... Oh no, so the portal needs to go to the right of that. There we go.
You know how I'm going to live forever.
Come on.
You're going to be dead in 60 years. Well, I've
oh
been
my days.
on a
Okay, hold on.
belated birthday present for you.
Line that back up again properly.
More of a belated
there we go.
birthday
Okay.
medical procedure.
That literally is just shoot two portals in the right area, and you'll complete the level. And I still fail. That's it. I just need to go literally and memorize exactly where those two portals need to be, because that is shocking. I just can't do that.
That jumpsuit you're wearing looks stupid. That's not me
Okay.
talking.
We're approaching a large level, but not quite. Here's another level where if we had invincibility, it would pay off. But what we're going to do instead is jump over here, and we're going to use the turret fire to be able to push us through to get to the cube down here. we knock everyone over so we can get the cube safely.
What does she know?
Please don't kill me.
Oh, wait.
There we go. We place the portal on there. The cube on there, sorry. Portal there, there, and there.
I'm going through the list of tests.
So again, because we didn't have invincibility, we have to do it that way.
To find two with your last
If we had invincibility,
a man and a woman.
what we could do is actually pick up one of the turrets, that first turret that shoots us through the portal, and use it to like stand on and jump up to that platform where the cube was. But obviously we can't do that because the turret would kill us.
Telling you would spoil the surprise.
So what we're going to try and do here is stand on this to activate the laser to kill all of the turrets here. We're going to pick up this cube back through the portal. Up here, place it on here. Don't fall off, thank you. Don't mind the laser. Jump back over here, use this to kill all the turrets remaining on the other side of that wall, as well as aim it at the button, the little sensor that activates there, and jumps in the level. Again, because it's turrets, this one would have been affected by us having Bet's Writer, the invincibility skip. Hold on. There we go, the second high note. So we'd be able to just kind of jump up and knock all the turrets over anyway as we were getting that first button, so it didn't really matter. But obviously we can't do that.
Nobel Prize winners.
But I think it's cool to give you some context as to what could have been, if we did manage to nail it. So we're going to place two portals here. This level's really simple. Place a portal over here. Oh, don't fling the cube like that. That's not very good. Or like that. So just place the cube nicely on top. Why does it keep catching on the... Stop catching. There, place the cube nicely on top above the button. That's better. Shoot a portal there, it falls onto the button, which activates this door.
I forgot about your surprise. I didn't.
And we're at the end.
We're headed to
So
your
this next
surprise
level
right now. After all these years,
is one that, if we had invincibility once again, would be completely different. And this is the biggest level that is affected by us having the invincibility activated, because it allows us to do this entire room completely differently. But because we don't have it, we'll do this the kind of intended route, I guess. Maybe not quite intended, just because we're going to do it a bit faster than maybe they intended it to be. But we won't be glitching through any sections basically. So we'll jump down here, portal up there, portal down here, shoot a portal there and here, and then we're going to jump through 1, 2, spam E, and that should bring both of these cubes through here to us. We'll shoot a portal then there, place 1, line it up here, and the next one we're going to shoot here. So you have to go through and kill that little turret who's going to shoot us otherwise. Place that there. And that's the nearly the end of this level, but there is another trick now still to do that we can do despite... I can't believe it. We just fell in the... Okay. We just fell into the goop that kills us. That's embarrassing. Oh dear. Okay, this is called Jerry Skip. So what we're going to try and do here is normally there's a long cutscene that plays essentially if we ride this elevator normally. So we're going to stand in a very specific spot here, aim at this spot here, and then we're going to do a little bit of movement that hopefully will allow us to glitch through the floor of this elevator here. Ooh, not quite nearly. And if we do this, we skip a big long dialogue section from Wheatley as he talks to us as we go down this elevator. So we just need to try and... There we go, fall through the floor. We fall all the way down. There's Wheatley, hello, bye. And that's the level over.
Well, you know the old formula.
Perfect. That's a cool little trick. You can technically do that on every single elevator, but that's the only one that it's worth it to do it on.
So I guess it's actually pretty
Okay, grab that
funny
cube. There we go. I thought he wasn't going to come down with me. Gosh, then. Okay. Cube up there. We're going to drop this just to the right of that button there. Perfect. Fire this over here. We're going to jump through this portal here, and then we're going to go up here, catch this cube as we go through, fling ourselves over here. This then allows us to line this up. Perfect. And then we should be able to get to the end of the level straight away, almost from here, basically. So we should be able to do a little bit of kind of wiggling around in the air. So again, movement left and right does make you move forward in the air. We can use that there to be able to kind of maneuver ourselves slowly over to that platform where the end of the level is. Okay, onwards. So, this text chamber is looking pretty good. So what we want to do, move this pot over here, and then we also want to fire ourselves through the floor, which will come in handy for a trick later, essentially. If we don't do that, our angle is constantly decreasing. It's called angle decay.
think these test chambers look
where our
better
angle is
than
constantly
they did
decreasing. If
before?
I stand still now, you'll notice that angle is still.
You just have to look at things objectively.
We do
See
that
what
by
you don't need
going
anymore.
through the floor there,
Trim out
as we
the
did
fat.
to get over to that area. All we did there essentially was activate all the kind of the
I've got a
lasers at once,
surprise
using
for
that
you
method
after
of,
this next
in theory, if
test.
all the lasers are
Not
activated at the
face
same
a
tick,
tragic surprise like
it works
last
then
time.
for us to be able
A
to
real
activate the
surprise
door,
with
and then we have to do it again
tragic
for the dialogue because the level will end if that
Real
dialogue
confetti this time.
doesn't come,
What's going
basically.
on?
So we have to activate it to open the door first, and then also activate it to get that dialogue started. Right, we're going to stand in here in theory to try and be able to shoot a portal there, and then there. We can jump through this a little bit earlier. There we go. Allows us just to move through that section about like a second faster. Not really crazy, but nice little trick. Us standing inside the portal there. Okay, we're now escaping, guys. We're escaping the test chambers, and we're going to be finding ourselves in the kind of the back area a lot now, the kind of behind the scenes area. We managed to jump over the kind of railing there, which is a nice little trick. Jump all the way down here to the next level.
Come on, come on.
And we're going to try now and not bump our head on Wheatley there. Okay, so again, this would be nice if we had invincibility because some turrets drop here, but we don't, sadly, so we just need to get through here as fast as possible without dying. There we go.
I heard gunfire. This way, this way.
And now it's just a lot of this kind of section here, this next little area, is going to be just a lot of movement. So prepare yourselves for a lot of bunny hopping and a lot of moving around. The cool trick comes in a couple of levels. I mean, there's kind of a cool trick coming up next. Actually, I do tell a lie. We're trying to build speed here by, again, pressing up kind of diagonally against the railing here. Be able to move a little bit faster. Make it into the elevator. Up we go. I remember this being one of my favorite parts of the game now, where we kind of like leave the test chamber area and move into the kind of behind the scenes, like secret-y stuff. Casually, it's a nice fun little area. So we're going to move here. We're going to place a portal, just there, which allows us to jump onto this little railing here. And now we're going to maneuver all the way. Ooh, I knew that was coming. There's a tricky gap here that isn't actually this gap. It's a bit before that. Don't want to fall down. We do this essentially to skip this entire section about Wheatley like turning the flashlight on. There was an invisible wall there that we just had to jump over that won't let you go through otherwise. So we've skipped all that completely. Nice and easy. And again, just a lot of bunny hopping now as I try not to fall off any platforms, which is easier said than done for me.
All of them robots. They say at night you can still hear the
We are moving. We are moving.
replicas. All of them functionally indistinguishable from the originals. No memory of the incident. No.
Now, I remember when I did my randomizer, my speedrunner run, that this entire walkway just completely disappeared for some reason when I did my run. It must have been something about the way I moved, or I was too fast in some area, or too slow. I don't know what it was. But that entire platform just completely disappeared, and I just didn't know what to do. I was like, "What the hell, man? What the hell's going on?" Luckily, not this time. The platform is there as intended. Again, just using portals here to out the way. Portals to travel through this level a bit faster where we can. Wrong way. Round. Falling down here. Landing on this platform here, but that's fine. Shall we shoot the portal up there to... Oh my days. Okay, that's why we make quick saves, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we make quick saves. So a portal there. Back through. Lovely. Okay. Beautiful. Right. So, still in the kind of behind the scenes area, but this is where we have a cool trick that we can do now coming up in a little bit that involves the view snaps. So do you remember on that secret panel level where I talked about view snaps and how, goodness gracious me, where I talked about view snaps and how the game has like, or the config, the speedrun config has like built-in sensitivity settings that you can use to help make precise shots. We're going to use that here. So we're first of all going to do a portal stand to skip this entire section. So to place a portal over here. And this is why we did that trick earlier when I said, you know, about angle decay, so that we don't have angle decay. This comes in handy here because if we had angle decay, this seam shot, as it's known, wouldn't work. because our angle would constantly be changing. It'd be really difficult to try and get it precise. So we go through here. Normally what we'd do here is we would try and replace this with a fake turret. But what we're actually going to do is aim at this point here, activate the view snap. We go snap 2 up, snap 1 down, reset in the corner, view snap on again, 2 up, 1 down, and boom. We've just shot through a very small seam in the door. Please don't kill me, turret. Okay, thank you. A very small seam in the door that allows us to just bypass that entire section of waiting for him to speak, waiting for him to give us a turret and whatever else. We just skip it entirely. It's crazy. And we did it first try as well, which was sick. We lined that up perfectly, which was excellent. So now, again, just a lot of bunny hopping, running around the gravels, just to try and get to the end. Wheatley's going to give us a bit of a push here as we're kind of going through. He's past us now, that's fine.
Don't worry, I'm absolutely guaranteeing you 100% that it's this way. No, it's not.
Okay, moving through. We're about to go back and confront GLaDOS once again. That's what we're building to. First of all, we've got to shut off the neurotoxin. This is what we're about to do now. Now, if you've watched any top-level runners do this level, there's a crazy trick that involves a chair and, like, jumping around lots of geometry. It's incredible. Like, just go watch that, honestly. Go just find a speedrun, the world record run maybe, and just go watch them do this level. It's ridiculous what they do with this chair. And the precision of, like, you basically, like, are jumping off the chair and grabbing it in midair and then jumping off it again. It's crazy. We're not doing that because we're not cool enough to do that. So I'm going to press that. And then what we can do, though, is shoot through this door. This door doesn't actually have any collision on it. We're able to shoot through that door to get to that slightly earlier. And then we can use this to destroy all the neurotoxin pipes. That should be the last one. Perfect. And now we just wait for this door to open. So the chair method essentially skips all this, and you're able to jump into here before the door even opens and stuff. It's crazy. Would recommend that you go watch that, because I'm not going to do it for you. Absolutely not. So we have a nice little kind of auto scroller now. This level we're just waiting for us to travel through these pipes and use the opportunity to take a nice little sip of water.
This should take us right to her. I can't believe I'm finally doing this. Woo!
Coming up, we're going to have a kind of a boss fight, I guess, with GLaDOS. And then we're going to move on to... It's the most interesting part of the game that's completely like scenery change from everything we've seen so far, where, spoiler for however old this game is, I think this game like over 20 years old. No, it's not over 20 years old, is it? It's like over 10 years old now, easily. Which is depressing to me, because this feels like it only came out recently. So I'm old, that's fine. We're going to enter kind of the underground area of like the abandoned section of Aperture Science, where we meet a very interesting character with some Spider-Man related lore attached to him, which is very cool. So even though this isn't a Spider-Man run, we still get a Spider-Man character somewhat who appears in this game, which is excellent. You'll meet him when we get there, and I'm sure you'll know instantly who it is as well. I'm just going to press that door. It's a fake door. It's not real.
Didn't think you'd fall for that.
So now, again, this is kind of just a little bit of waiting. A little bit of waiting for the floor to open for us to get to the actual GLaDOS boss room. Floor should open up in a second. There we go. We're going to try and land on the toilet. Ready? Boom. Easy. That's 3 points.
It was nice catching up. Let's get to business.
And here is GLaDOS.
I hope you brought something stronger than
The boss fight's not particularly hard. It's nothing like the GLaDOS boss fight in the first game. Not really a boss fight. We're just going to do some plugging and unplugging and placing portals and all sorts of stuff. So here are the turrets that we sabotaged. Technically, we didn't do anything. We skipped through that section by doing the seam shot. But the turrets, we sabotaged the turrets, so they only took through the fake ones, the broken ones, the defective ones.
You were busy back there.
Now, the next trick is, this pipe's going to come through, which is supposed to be filled with neurotoxin, but you'll remember that we actually knocked off the neurotoxin earlier as well. And what should happen is Wheatley should come through here, and if I stand in the right place, Wheatley should just like land on my head and get stuck on my head. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, nope, okay. That makes no difference in any sort of way to the run. it's just cool if you land on your head. It's like a swag trick.
I don't feel corrupt.
But we didn't get
In
it,
fact, I feel
sadly.
pretty
So,
good.
Alternate core
no worries.
detected.
Oh, that's me they're talking about.
To initiate a core transfer.
Okay, so we're going to place Wheatley in this core transfer module.
Are you ready to
I'm going to sit over here and wait for this next room to open.
Are you ready to start the procedure?
What we're going to try and do is skip this section a little bit by jumping over the panels that she's going to place up to try and block us from pressing the button.
Unless a stalemate associate is present to press the
So let's try and do this. Place a portal there. We do a bunny hop or two to pop over. No, we didn't quite get it, so we're just going to do the intended route of placing the portals around the other side
stalemate resolved.
and do this. And that's GLaDOS defeated, guys. We beat the game, right?
This hurts.
We did it.
This really
GLaDOS
hurts.
defeated. The game is over, surely.
Will.
Right?
Believe me, it will.
No.
Are you just
Sorry,
saying
you
that,
are
or is it
wrong.
really gonna
You are
hurt?
dead wrong. If you thought that, guys, you're just wrong. Dead wrong. That is so crazy that you are dead wrong. Instead, what's going to happen is Wheatley's going to go crazy and lose his mind, basically. And he's going to turn into the antagonist of the game. So, GLaDOS is being disassembled here. And the next trick involves us jumping on top of the elevator that's going to appear in a second here.
We did it. I'm in control of the whole facility now.
So we're just going to wait for Wheatley to bring it.
Would
Oh.
you look at this?
And what this will do essentially is skip a massive section of this game where we're just waiting for things to happen.
Oh, right, yeah, the escape lift.
Here comes the elevator. We jump and kind of crouch into it, walk ourselves backwards. We get stuck, there we go, and we're stuck now. We can't move, so that's how you know it works. You've done it right. A big chunk of dialogue skips already, and Wheatley skips straight to this section because he thinks we're in the elevator. But we're not, of course. And because we're not in the elevator, what we can do is, once it allows us to move again, we can do a lovely little skip that allows us to walk off the elevator and land into here to be able to fall straight to the end of level trigger. Instead of waiting for the entirety of Wheatley's monologue there. And now we're falling. And it's GLaDOS. Again, another auto-scroller. Can't move, can't do anything in this level. Gonna wait for the dialogue to occur. So, everything you've seen so far, obviously quite cool. This next section of the game, casually, is crazy because this starts introducing all like the different gels and things like that. And we use some of the gel. We only really actually, I'm trying to think. Do we use the gel at all, like really? We don't use the orange gel at all, I think, the entirety of the speedrun. We use the blue gel and we use the white gel. The orange gel, at least with the methods that I'm using to complete the levels, the routes that I'm using, we don't use the orange gel at all, I'm pretty certain. The blue gel we use in some situations, and the white gel we use quite a lot, because it allows us to place portal surfaces. Although saying that, I don't think we actually use the white one that much. Casually, you do all sorts of crazy things with the gels, but sadly, with the speedrun, we're not actually going to be using them all that much. So sorry if you were waiting for that. That's not coming. I'm so sorry. So, we've landed in the abandoned section of Aperture. We're now as deep can be. And there goes GLaDOS with the crow. Bye-bye. We've lost our kind of escape route now, so we've got to try and navigate all the way back up to try and escape again. We were just about to be freed by Wheatley. He went crazy, and now we're in even bigger trouble than we were before, which is excellent. So we're going to place a few portals here, be able to, oh, there we go, get to the next part of this level. Shoot the portals, that'd be great. There we go. And we're going to try, instead of hopping all the way down this area, which can take a long time, we're going to stand up here and aim there. And what that does is allows us to shoot a portal all the way down to the other side, which is nice and handy. I'm going to do that. Place a portal over here. Press this button. Portal through. Press this button in time. And then what we can do now is, instead of waiting for this door to open in its entirety, we can jump up here. I can walk and kind of land on here. And I can jump onto this kind of the little lock once this door kind of moves past it. Whee, there we go. Nope, nearly. Again. Whee. There we go. To be able to move inside this area. Normally we wouldn't be able to get here because the doors, you can see, are still closed. But we can wait up here. Oh my goodness, guys. A giant vault. What's going to be behind? It's a tiny door. Perfect. And we move on. So, dangerous water. We don't want to jump in the water, which I am privy to do a lot. So I'm going to take this fairly easy. Place a portal up here. Jump across to here. Portal in here that we can stand in. Portal in here that we can stand in. There we go. Shoot a portal on the floor here. And then we can jump through it. And we're here. For some reason, the bottom of that doesn't really have collision, so it kind of just pushes you through onto the actual elevator itself. And up we go. There's another method, a slightly faster way of getting to this upward area that we're trying to get to here, but it's quite tricky. So this is the kind of the basic method. What we're going to do now is a trick essentially that triggers an intended kind of jump through these levels. So we're going to pop our portal through here, jump up through here. We're going to stand on this bit of railing here and shoot our first portal up here. We're going to walk into this portal. Oh, hold on. We're going to walk into this portal slightly and then shoot the portal so it kind of places at an equal right distance away. Aim there, and then that should... Oh, no, it should fling us through, in theory. Maybe I just go a bit lower down here. Hold on, try that. Jump inside, shoot there, and then... There we go. So, we've done that now. So what I'm going to try and do, though, is a slightly faster way of doing this by shooting a portal there, which will fling us... There we go, to hit this part of the pipe instead, which we can use to, jump over to this section. Instead of going inside this area and turning on some of the gel and going up and round, we just bounce off that pipe. Okay, now, very important, I don't want to move here, apart from jumping just to turn the lights on a little bit earlier. We don't want to move. Do not move. Scripted velocity, that's the word. Thank you, Bovik, in chat. Scripted velocity, that's why that works. So, we don't move, and then we turn on our next view snap, which allows us to hopefully do another seam shot. I'm going to shoot a portal up there, stand in this corner, aim at the corner, and then... No! Okay, hold on, we need to start the level again then. Try this again. Don't move. Don't move. Boom, view snap on. I didn't turn the view snap on. That was clever. Try again. Okay, view snap is B. Okay, don't move, don't move. Boom. The reason we don't move is because when the lights turn on, for some reason we kind of like drop a little bit of a distance. Very small, but it makes a big difference to the angle that we're going to shoot at here. I think I aimed a bit too high when I shot that portal. So I want to aim there, and then boom, there we go, and we're through. Magic, guys. The magic of view snaps. Just shoot through tiny little seams in the geometry. Okay, like, let's see how long it takes me to do this. I hate this bit. So, what we're going to try and do here is jump, crouch, uncrouch. No, okay, need to be a bit closer. I'm going to jump, crouch, uncrouch. A bit closer still. Jump, crouch, uncrouch. Oh, still, okay, still a bit far away. Jump, crouch, uncrouch. Crouch again and move to the right. There we go, to jump up to here. And then we're going to abuse this one tick ability to be able to activate this panel. Just there we go. By walking through that in a precise way. And then we can jump all the way over here. A big section of that. Guys, this is Cave Johnson, by the way. This is the Spider-Man reference I was talking about. It's J.K. Simmons. Oh my goodness, he's in the game. J. Jonah Jameson. Imagine it's him speaking to us. And you can close your eyes and pretend this is a Spider-Man game. Unfortunately, his big rant, I know everyone loves the lemonade rant that he has in this game, but goodness gracious, I like caught in the parts there. We actually do a trick called lemonade skip because it skips that entire dialogue about the lemonade. So I'm very sorry if you were hoping to see that today. You will not be seeing any conversations about lemonade, unfortunately. So we're going to press this button while standing in this portal, and then we're going to use the kind of reportaling here by placing that portal again as we walk through to get a bit of extra distance and height there, be able to send ourselves through there, and then we are going to, there we go, shoot through that and aim. Nope, that was wrong. That again, hold on. Nope. Wrong portal, wrong portal. notorious for that, shooting the wrong portals in the wrong places. Okay, place orange there. Wait for the blue to go through. And place that here, and then aim upwards. So again, what this does is it cancels out the angle decay for another trick that we've got coming up. So you notice if I stand still, angle is staying constant. By entering the portal at that kind of while we're looking upwards at the sky, it means that we don't get that angle decay, which is very important. Very, very important, because we need that for this big, big skip that is coming up. Which is, oh, in fact, which is this level, and I've just started it without, hold on. So what I need to do is press view snap, up one, right one, and there's some big snaps over here. We walk across this platform, and as soon as we enter the room, we shoot, and we've just shot a portal through that bit of the wall. Perfect. Okay, try and smash this glass by crouching through a specific timing through here, and it smashes the glass for us, as opposed to us having to smash the glass through other means. Not quite getting the timing right here. There we go. And then let's try and do the fancy way of doing this. So we shoot a portal up here, portal about here, and what we're going to do is we're going to walk through, crouch, and wiggle. Oh, no, wrong portal again. Jump through here, crouch, and wiggle our way up. There we go. Nice. First try, kind of. Up to here. Using some mid-air maneuvering. Wait for the safety door. There we go. Move on through. So again, if you're good at movement, you'll be able to fly through this level, this entire game, sorry, very fast. Movement is the biggest part and the biggest thing you want to improve on in order to try and get runs faster and faster each time. Also, nailing skips first try would be good as well. But movement is massive. So what we're going to do is going to shoot now through here. Not going to go all the way through the door so that we can jump up to here. And then this, we can shoot a portal here because that actually, for some reason, just pulls it through to there. Shoot a portal here. And we're up on top of this platform. And we're going to do another bit of velocity manipulation to skip this entire section of going up to the control room, turning some stuff on. We're going to shoot a portal roughly there, like as high as that goes in kind of that section. We're going to place another portal here. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump through it. And in theory, I should land back in it again. And it should fling us, perfect, all the way over to this part of the level. This part of the level. Beautiful, beautiful. Love that. Okay, chapter 7, we are progressing, and we've got Potato GLaDOS, which we would have gotten in the last level had we actually done that level properly. So what we're going to do here is get into a position that allows us to shoot just through that little gap there, a portal.
Yes, sir, Mr. Johnson.
That one's not as precise as the other tricks.
What the hell is going
So what I'm going to do now is place a portal here, and then I'm going to shoot the orange portal that we're going through just up here as we go through. And what we're trying to do is not go through up there, but go through to where the blue portal is. We've left it currently. The timing of this is a bit finicky. Shooting it too early. There we go. So we shot the blue portal. We're on the other side. And then all we should need to do now is bounce through. No! Okay, we didn't quite get enough speed there for some reason. That again. Too early again. Too early again. Come on. Too early again. There we go. Right, try this again. Quick save here this time. That'd be clever. And through, and beautiful. Change the world. There we go. Walk through. Okay, another, I believe this next one is another super reportal trick, where we're going to use the getting stuck inside of a portal to fling ourselves massive distance. I believe is the level. Yes, it is. Okay, this one's one of my favorites. I really like this one. So we're going to go to a particular spot in the map. And if you play this level casually, you'll know that you normally use a combination of all the gels to be able to do this. But what we're instead going to do is shoot a portal here. Tap once there. We're going to shoot another portal there, and then we're going to spam. That's not quite done it. So hold on. So what we're going to try and do. Oh, okay, hold on. We've gone to the wrong level there. Oops. I did clearly not quick save before doing that trick. My bad.
You could walk out of here with 120 weighing down your bindle.
Let's try this again. So, quick save here, so we don't do that again. So we walk into it, shoot there, slightly forward there, shoot a portal there, and then spam blue portals until it flings us across. But I didn't do quite enough blue portals there. Let's try it again. And then shoot. I think I did too big of a tap there. Shoot. And then, again, too big of a tap. This one, you've got to get your tap very, very small. No, still too big. Okay, try it again. Walk in, shoot a portal, and then this should be it. Boom. Look at that for distance. Beautiful, beautiful. So again, that manipulates, because we get stuck inside the portal, it just builds up our velocity over time until eventually it figures out that it can just chuck us. And because it chucks us at the velocity that we've built up to, that's how we get flung so far. Which is going to be doing it again, I believe, on this next level, which is the lemonade skip. Which is this, I think, is universally agreed upon to be the hardest trick to learn as a beginner. Because it's very precise. It is this level, yeah. It's very precise about what you have to do to be able to nail this properly. Which you'll see in a second when we get to there. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump over here. We're going to place some portals just to get to the spot where we can set up for this lemonade skip. Around here, portal up to this section here and here, and then what we're going to do is shoot a portal here roughly, so that portal, you'll be able to see it kind of goes inside of the wall there. You see there, inside the wall. Perfect. Shoot another portal on the floor here, so it's touching. We're going to crouch in and out, and then we're going to move to I think it's 944 roughly thereabouts. We're going to then shoot a portal in this exact spot here, and then aim in this exact spot here, walk forward, shoot a portal, and now, yes, we are indeed stuck inside. Perfect. I'm going to shoot this portal a few times to build up enough speed to then be able to fling. We fling all the way up here, land up here, and we've just skipped that entire level. Wow, first try as well. Let's go. That's so sick. So, that's Lemonade Skip. You get yourself a very precise kind of positioning and inputs to be able to fling yourself all the way to the top of that section there. And then what we're going to do now is fling ourselves up here, and let's try and do the fancy way of doing this. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle round. Nope, try it again. Hold on. Trying to wiggle to that platform. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Okay. Another level that involves velocity and kind of abusing the velocity. We're going to jump off here to be able to... Ooh, not quite. Get that. Jump again. Bonk. Am I hitting a... I think I'm hitting my head on the top of the portal, which is what's causing the issue. Hold on. Shoot that blue portal there. There we go. Try again. Okay, hold on. Oh my days, come on. There we go, to fling us up here. And walk over to here. We're going to crouch so that we don't bounce off this blue gel and place a portal there so the gel is kind of going through the bottom of that portal. What we want to do then is place a blue portal at the very bottom here. Two is all we need. And what we're going to do now is stand in a position here that we're going to get stuck. So if I walk backwards and then to the right, we get stuck here. You can see our downward velocity is building, building, building. We press right. And what should have happened is we bounce off that. Let me try that again. So backwards and right. Build velocity, build, 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 and tap. Rats. Okay, hold on. I've clearly not shot, I don't think, this in the right spot. I might need to go. We'll try it again. Hold on. Again, that should be the right position for the blue gel. Me backwards and off. Go. Bounce. No, I'm slightly too far away. Okay, hold on. We might be able to make this work. Still. Bounce. No. Okay, hold on. If this doesn't work, we'll just have to restart this section and kind of shoot the blue gel again. Not an issue. Let's see. Yeah, I'm clearly not quite hitting the spot I want. So one more try. If not, we'll restart and we'll shoot that blue gel properly. There we go. Okay, we got it. We got it. And shoot a portal up there. Did I not hit that portal? No, I didn't. Rats. Okay, hold on. Right, we did it. I just didn't build enough speed to be able to get to that portal. So hold on, we'll try that again. Apologies. There we go. Up we go. Beautiful, that's better. Right, so we bounced all the way up here. I was supposed to shoot a portal there, but I missed. And now we'll maneuver down to the bottom here again. There's a much faster way and a fancier way of doing this, but we're going to take it safe. We're going to jump here, place a portal here where we land, which should fling us all the way over to here. We're going to press this button. And now look, GLaDOS has got a very good idea. Take a look at this poster. Paradoxes. So that is intended, by the way. You have to look at that poster, otherwise you waste time. So that's fine. Right, so the angle here I need to look at is 150.8. Let me just try this. So 150.8 on the floor. 150.8 on the floor. There. This should hopefully be what we need. We place it here, and this, again, we're going to do another super reportal. Let's get through here. So again, some precise move. We jump through backwards without moving. We stop here and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, which should, there we go, put us in the ground. Shoot the portal a handful of times. I think that's one too many. We'll find out. And then we're going to fly all the way up to here. Be able to... Ooh, not quite. All the way up to here. Be able to land behind an invisible wall. That normally blocks you from being able to jump over that section. And we're all the way up. Beautiful. Okay. We now have made our way back, guys, to the Aperture Science Labs that we all know and love. Excellent. So we've escaped the abandoned area, all the scary area. And that's kind of it for crazy tricks that involve seam shots and precise angles now. But we do have one crazy glitch coming up that affects like the entire rest of the game, basically. So look forward to that. First, we've got to conquer this level, which I am very notorious for getting stuck on this level for ages because it involves throwing a cube onto a button, and I'm very bad at it, and you'll see why in a second. So we're going to jump over here. This door will open in a second. Quick save. So we grab, here we go, this box, and what we're going to try and do is throw this button onto here and move to this door before it opens, but it involves us having to actually throw that button onto the cube. Oh, that cube, sorry, onto the button, which I'm not the greatest at. Come on. Okay, throw. It must be close. Come on, boys. Oh, he's cruel. He's cruel. This button is cruel. And what we need to be doing is we need to touch the door before it hits. That's terrible. We need to touch the door before the button is pressed, basically. Otherwise, we will get stuck in this room. The point is for us to be able to skip a little section of dialogue. They hit us with a paradox, guys. Come on. Don't do this to me. Oh, that was it. And it bounced onto it. And I undid my quick save. I had quick loaded. I was too eager. Oh, that was it then. Dag now it. That's just not it. Hold on. Hey, okay, we did it. There we go. That's what should happen.
I have to test all the time.
So, the reason you have to be touching the door is because if you're not touching the door when that button activates, Wheatley brings up like a barrier to stop the door from being entered. But if we're touching the door, it doesn't bring up that panel, so we can just walk through and skip that entire bit of dialogue that kind of goes on for ages. So fairly straightforward here. Wheatley wants us to do some tests because he's trying to scratch an itch in his robot brain. And so he wants us to just keep testing. So he's found some simple tests for us to do. Scratch that itch of his. And he decides, oh, maybe we just keep doing this test. Maybe that'll work. But it doesn't, unfortunately. So we're only going to do this test once more. We're going to go over here, press this button. Down we go. And then we're going to try and hold on, do a 1 second time save. Ready?
Got to be some tests around here somewhere.
Oh, we got it. So you see how it kind of skipped a bit of that data? He went, oh, and then GLaDOS interrupted him. That is a 1 second time save. We did it. We did it. Very hard to do. You just have to walk through that door at a precise time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And we did it. Incredible. Right. Remember when I said there's a crazy glitch still to come? This is it. So we're going to shoot here. Shoot here. We're going to stand up. Portal here. Oh, no, sorry. Blue portal there. And then we're going to portal here, here. And now we're flying. We're just in permanent flying mode. So what's happened here essentially is by standing in a funnel, but it not being, you see how we kind of stood in that funnel and it didn't quite like do anything. The funnel didn't actually come through the portal. For whatever reason, I don't quite know the technicality behind it, but because of that, it assumes that we're still in a funnel state, and so that's why we're able to fly around. But now if I jump, we jump endlessly, so we're going to use that now to do some levels very fast, hopefully. Did I press the button there? I did not. I'm going to go back on. I'm going to press this button twice. There we go, just to be able to get back in time. Got to grab the cube. There it is, lovely. Move through the air. Press the button with the cube. Bounce it off our heads to push us down. Place the cube back over there. And then use that to lift the cube up into the actual position it should be. So as soon as we hit the floor, we stop flying, but the fly state is still active. So as soon as I jump, we start flying again. But as soon as we touch the floor, we go back to like walking around. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to use this to be able to navigate across this big empty canyon. Move all the way across over here. Perfect. I'm going to shoot a portal just there. I'm going to press this button when it comes through so that it falls. There we go. Throw it up in the air to be able to shoot a portal there. We should be able to walk through here. Nope, I'll crouch through. There we go. And then just use this to like pop myself onto the floor again. Off my head. There we go. Right, and then we're going to use this to be able to move the cube onto the button that's just above me here, basically. So move it down. There we go. We're through.
Oh, disappointed.
We're through. So yeah, as Kovic rightly points out, the funnel thing was literally found on day one, which is incredible. So people just find stuff by accident and suddenly it becomes a major part of a speedrun, which is great. Okay, fastest level in the game. All we do is we jump up here. We place a portal here and here to be able to go through the funnel, and that's the end. So now, because we've re-entered a funnel now, our fly state has been cancelled. So if you are flying and then you enter a funnel again, it cancels out your kind of like flying state. So now we're back to just regular movement of jumping. We're going to place a portal here and a portal here. Now, for some reason, if I aim here and place a blue portal in the right position, you'll notice that we fell through. Hold on, just be a bit more inside the portal. If I shoot a blue portal on this dot here, it actually, for some reason, places a portal on that surface. There we go. Which means I can press this button, jump down, and try and grab this cube before it flies away. Perfect. I didn't want to go through myself, but that's fine. We grab the cube. Beautiful. We'll place a portal here. We're able to jump up through that portal that we placed magically on that surface. And that's the end of that level. Okay, we're going to wait for it to get to unbearable and then walk in. Unbearable. There we go. We are slowly closing in on kind of the end of the game, guys. We are getting there. So there's not too much left. We've got a few more sections where we're going to be flying through the level. We're going to get the flying state back, I believe, on this level. No, it's the level after this, I believe. So hold on, we're going to press this here. Try and grab this cube as it flies over our heads. Perfect. And now we need to try not to die to these cubes down here. These turrets, sorry, down here. Place this. Run away. And now we're going to jump through this. Get back to here. And that's that done. So a lot of the levels, there's no like particular like glitch or trick. It's more so just knowing the optimal way of getting through the level, and by having enough speed, you can actually do a lot more than I think not that they intended to do it. Obviously, there's an intended route, which we're not particularly following, but I'm sure you know what I mean. Right, so we're going to get the flying state back here in theory. So I maneuver over to this section of the level. I'm going to place a portal there and a portal here, so you can see the funnel is not going through, which means we can place a funnel here, wait for a couple of seconds, stand up, and then shoot a blue portal on the floor, which should allow us to maneuver over here. We're going to jump on this platform, be able to catapult ourselves to the roof, and then we're going to bonk our head on this pipe here, be able to knock ourselves down to land safely on this platform again. Boom. That's the end. So we're now back in flying state, which we're going to use right now up until basically the end of the game now, until the very last level. We're going to stick in flying state. We're going to shoot a portal up there and down here, and then do a portal stand to there, kind of. Press this button twice so that I can actually get there fast enough to be able to catch the cube. We're going to throw that up in the air to shoot a portal down to there. Be able to... Oh, I'm knocking myself down. Oh, hold on. I have to go back a bit.
Oh, sorry, could have sworn you said something.
Oh, no, hold on. I've done it again where I've gone through accidentally. Okay, so hold on. Yeah, this is right. Press the button twice. Quick save here. There we go. Right. Throw it in the air, throw a portal down there, and then walk through. Perfect. And then what we can do is we throw a portal up here, and we can use the kind of geometry of this to be able to bonk it up by it kind of balancing on the side there, which is quite fun. Okay, we're going to maneuver around here now, parallel to the funnel here. And what I'm going to try and do here is hit the funnel and then maneuver all the way over to here. The only problem is because we don't have the invincibility thing, I have to get over here quite quickly beyond the kind of area that insta-kills you. So we'll see how many attempts this takes. So into the funnel. Nope, not quite. I'm going to go into the funnel and nope, didn't quite touch it there. Go into the funnel and maneuver ourselves around. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, not quite. I think I bumped into the metal panel there, which was part of the issue. Just try and maintain as much momentum as I can as we're kind of flying in. Be able to bonk off it and wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Nope. Will take a little bit of time, I think. It's okay. It's okay. Bonk and go. Just a bit further, literally. We just need like literally inches further. So I'm like leaning into it now myself. I'm so invested in what was going on. So touch it and then wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Oh, we're so close to it. Need to get enough wiggle room in the air to be able to... There we go, get past it. Perfect, perfect. I think. We're not stuck here, are we? Oh no, we actually stuck. Hold on. Uh-oh. Maybe I have to do it again. Oh no, I think I'm actually stuck here. Hold on. Don't think I can... Yeah, I can't recover that. No, okay. We did it, and then didn't quite land in the right spot. That's a shame. Right, try that again. Bit of a wiggle. Come on, Spyran. It's because I keep bonking the... Oh, just a little bit more distance there. And we'd do it. Come on. What I need to kind of do is like... circle off a little bit here, maybe. There we go. Right, that'll do. Did it. Okay. Then on to this next bit. Now, this next level, you have to be quite fast at because the timing of this makes all the difference. So I'm going to shoot 2 portals there. Hold on. Restart the level again, just because I treated the dialogue a little quicker than I wanted to. Go. So a portal there. Portal there. And portal there. Oh, hold on, try it again. I just didn't stand on the button properly. Portal there. Press the button. Portal there. Jump on there. Portal down. We grab the cube. Place it on there. Do a portal there, and then we're going to fly again. Go and go. There should be Hopefully fine. Need to build up a bit more speed. Get there in time. Oh no, I bounced off that. Dang it. Okay, hold on.
See here. Exit, exit, exit. There is no
Again.
exit. Not a problem.
Cube just bounced off the button.
Let's
Sound.
see here. Exit, exit, exit.
Try again.
There is no
Cube.
exit. Not a
Jump
problem.
in the thing.
I'll make an exit.
Aim there and go. Speed, speed, speed. Got bounce off the thing again. Perfect. And it's the
I'll be honest,
portal.
after you told me to turn that beam off, I thought I lost you. You two are gonna
There we
love
go.
this big surprise.
We make it up here. We skip a whole lot of dialogue
You say you're going to love it
to death. Perfect. I mean, we go.
You're gonna love it until it kills you. Till you
So we are very close now to finishing the game. I think we've literally got maybe like 4 more chambers, 4 more levels, and the 4th one being the last one. We're very close now to finishing. So we should still have a fly state. In fact, no, we don't have fly state anymore, do we? I'm wrong. But we're going to get fly state back on this level. Okay, it's going to shoot there, shoot on the floor, get through to here. I'm going to shoot in this corner, and then shoot on the floor here. Be able to activate the flying state. In fact, what I should have done is crouched, and then gone in here, and then stand up. And there we go. Nope, that didn't work properly. Try it again. Crouch into the portal, stand up, shoot, and then move to the left, move to the right. Stop hitting me, turrets, please, please, I'm just a boy. Yeah, should be able to land on this platform, fine. Bonk off the edge, be able to hit the floor, perfect.
Even though he should be going out of his mind with test withdrawal. And he's got a surprise
For us, there we go, in we go,
find back there.
and onwards.
I'll bet you're both dying to know what your big surprise is.
Okay.
Well, only 2 more.
Only 2 more chambers, he says, but actually we're not going to listen to him. It's technically tricks us anyway here. This isn't real. So instead what we're going to do is jump up to here, catch ourselves on a little bit of geometry up here, and then we're going to fly all the way over to where we're supposed to go. A bit of flying here. An invisible wall that I'm kind of like pushing up against to get some velocity. And we're going to go to the left here. Pulling ourselves all the way along. And then to the right. And then down to here where Wheatley is very patiently waiting for us. What a nice guy. We're just casually floating towards him. He's just kind of watching us do it. And now we're going to bounce off this TV screen to be able to start lowering ourselves. And kind of bounce and go to this bit here, which should propel us. There we go.
No, seriously,
The floor.
Come back, please.
And now we're escaping.
Okay, look, I've decided I'm not
So we're going to jump up to here.
If you come back.
And then bounce off the bottom there to get a bit of downward momentum. Not quite as much as I wanted there, but that's fine. To land on this walkway down here. Eventually. We float down. Perfect. And then we're going to walk off here.
I've got an idea.
Oh, hold on, I did that wrong. We'll walk off here, crouch, and then
I've got an idea.
wiggle. Try and dodge that. We did.
Thanks, I got harder. Fine.
Okay, and then we're gonna again just keep flying through. I've gotten stuck on something there. Just gonna keep flying.
I'm almost there.
Unless I get stuck on something. Hold on. Wait for that to be destroyed. There we go. Whoa, let me through, let me through. What am I stuck on? There we go. The door, to the door.
Was that your bullet, riddle bullet flying out the room? It went, oh, those were the crap
Okay, hold on.
times, weren't they?
Scuffed it a little bit with the
No
movement of
matter,
it, but it's
because
fine.
I'm still holding all the cards. And guess
So we're gonna
what? They're
work away,
all
hold on. Slowly,
out.
slowly, slowly, over to here.
Actually played
There
cards.
we go, we're gonna stand on here
Anyway,
at a kind of
turret
precise
not
spot.
defective. Ace of
Not
fours.
majorly precise, but a spot that kind of will allow us to walk backwards, to the right, and to the left underneath all these turrets so they don't shoot at us. And then we should be able to bounce our head off of, there we go, that little bit of geometry there, which should push us down this platform nicely. There we go. And then we can continue on maneuvering through this level by flying. Over here. We're gonna wander over to here. Bonk our head on here to touch down. We're gonna jump up to this light. Bonk our head on there. Spin around. Bonk our head on this bit. And we're down. A lot of bonking. It's all intentional bonking. That's a weird sentence that I just said. That's fine. Okay. I'm gonna shoot a portal on the floor here, on the wall here, sorry. Jump up and then shoot a portal here so we hit our head on it. We go through here. Bounce off this wall because if you go through this bit too fast, it actually is slower. Spin round. Navigate ourselves around this kind of catwalk. Shoot a portal there and a portal there. We're gonna go through then, which should bonk our head up on the ceiling. There we go. And then we should be able to go through this bit of wall here, which we should hit something that kind of walks us down, and we should land on a bit of geometry in a second. There we go, to allow us to jump up, hit this roof, and over and across to here. Now this is the penultimate level, guys. We're approaching the final level, which involves a boss fight. Everyone loves a boss fight. So I'm going to walk into here to cancel out the fly. We no longer fly. We no longer need fly for the rest of the game now. That's fine. Shoot a portal there and there. Jump through. Look up here because the game leaves you where you last aimed. So just a bit quicker because you can just shoot a portal then straight away. Okay, and what we're going to try and do in-game is defeat Wheatley by corrupting the cores again. So you remember the first boss fight with GLaDOS, it detected that she was a corrupted core, and we replaced her with Wheatley. We're going to do the same now by attaching corrupted cores to Wheatley's body. There's 3 cores that we need to attach to him, and that's what this boss fight is going to involve. So we're going to be waiting for him to do this bit of monologuing. We've got to wait, there's no way to skip this. He's going to eventually shoot a bomb at us, which will spread all this, the white gel around. And then hopefully, we're going to be able to defeat him fairly quickly after this.
So anyway, that's the itinerary. Also, I took the liberty of watching the tapes of you killing her, and I'm not going to make the same mistakes.
So he talks us through his plan. No portal services. We're going to abuse that slightly because we're going to destroy this white gel. Which white gel, guys, is made out of moon. It's made out of the surface of the moon is the white gel. So that comes into play later, in a second, kind of the end. The very last thing that we do plays into. So we get him to shoot that over there. Perfect. I'm looking for a particular kind of like seam in the floor, if I can find it. No, I'm not sure where this is. What I'm going to try and do essentially is portal there, portal down here. Okay, hold on. We need to be able to shoot one up there. There we go. And I think I've got these 2 juggling. Oh, we've got 1 juggling. Okay, that's not too bad. Nope, it exploded. Never mind. Okay. Normally, what you can do to speed this next section up is you can have some bombs like juggling there, so that then as soon as you're ready to attack him, you can just shoot a bomb right up into him. But we didn't do that properly, so we'll just do this normally. Where I'll just wait for him to shoot at us again, and then stand out the way. Walk away. Perfect. Alright, next one will be coming from here. Here it comes. Grab it in the air. Oh no, I missed. Okay, hold on. Oh, there we go. Bonk him up here. He catches on this end. Oh, come on, portal. Do as I say. There we go. If we come stand like around here, make sure this portal's like as high as it goes, just to make sure it shoots properly at him. Aim a portal out here, so that he shoots at us. There we go. We want to shoot one up there, and then when he says just do it, we shoot a portal there, portal there, portal there, and we should be able to grab this, and there we go, and attach the final core. Goodness gracious. Attach the final core to Wheatley. Perfect. All right, and this is basically the end. There's only one last thing that we need to do, and we're hopefully going to be able to do it, and it's a thing called Moonshot. So, normally if you play this game casually before, a little bit of cutscenes happen, and you shoot a portal at the moon, and that finishes the game. And that's the time is stopped as soon as we shoot that portal on the moon. But what you can actually do is, if you shoot the portal in this room early, in a precise manner, you can actually shoot the moon before the cutscene even plays, which we're going to try and do. So to do that, what we have to do is this little kind of bit of rock on its own here. We shoot at this, and for some reason the portal sticks around, even though the floor gets cleaned of all the moon dust. So from here, we wait for this room to open. We crouch, and we're going to go shoot, 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 shoot. No, we didn't quite get it. We'll know if we get it if it makes like a little ding noise of hitting the moon. Hold on. So shoot. Come on. Shoot, shoot. Nope. Come on, let's show this last trick off. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Boom. And that's time. Ding. And we've hit the moon. And now you get 2 cutscenes playing over the top of each other, which is beautiful. And that's Portal 2. And that's Portal 2. Oh, that's not a new PB. I pressed the wrong button. Ignore that. That's definitely not a new PB. That's just the run complete. Oops. Pressed the wrong button. But there you go. That was Portal 2. Thank you so much for watching that. That was lovely. I really enjoy doing the Portal 2 runs. I wish I could do them more often, but they're quite long, and I don't always have the kind of like hour and a half needed to do runs. So I hope you enjoyed that. Shout out to SpiderRuns and all the stuff that we do on here. Be sure to follow and everything else if you're enjoying the content. Shout out to the Portal 2 community, particularly the people who helped me learn this game initially. So people like Milky French Toast was a great help to me. It came into my streams and helped me as I was learning this running initially. Who else? A shout out to everyone who's participated in the run so far. It's been fantastic. I think we've all had a really good time with the marathon. Up next, we've got a very exciting one. Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine is coming up next, which is a Nintendo 64 game, and it looks wild. If you enjoyed flying in this game, then well, I won't spoil anything, but tune into the next run. Tune into the next run. That's all I'm going to say. That's it from me. I have been Spyran, and I'll leave you in the safe, capable hands, once again, of ChuckNicey. Take care, everyone.